Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to The Shade Speaks. Yes, a special edition The Shade Speaks live. Here's part of RVTV. How we all doing, everybody? And yes, folks, I'm not alone, though. Kind of, because right now we've got Lady K joining us here, but do not let the shades fool you, folks. I am just as tired as she is right now. It is an exhausting several days now. Hi, honey. Because as you guys know, we had a very busy week this week, very exciting week, and we are going to be talking about that tonight. Because tonight we are not doing any Let's Plays, we're not doing anything like that. We are doing a full discussion about tonight's topic, which is, of course, Metrocon. Ladies and gentlemen, Metrocon 2016. Yeah, word of warning, if you can barely hear Lady K, unfortunately her voice is starting to give out. She's coming down with a case of laryngitis after everything.
It's my own doing. It's absolutely my own doing, guys. I kind of screamed myself hoarse, a little hoarse yesterday during one of the events at closing, so.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy this weekend. So we're going to be going over all of that this weekend because I know you guys probably have some questions about what's going on and probably have some curiosities about what happened this weekend. Did you really just do a ninja reference there?
Mm-mm.
Bullshit.
Mm-mm. Happy and Natsu.
Ah, Happy and Natsu. Okay, fair enough. And of course, yeah, and of course, now everyone's talking about San Diego Comic-Con, which also happened this weekend. Trust me, folks, Metrocon was not happy to have to share the spotlight with that con. Though, surprisingly, did not hurt their numbers.
No, actually, we were 2 off from 11.9.
Yeah.
Literally, 11,898. And yet, so many people said, oh, you guys are going to lose business this year to restricting the floor.
Okay, let's get to that. I was going to make that our first topic anyway, so thank you for the segue.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
and
let's...
if you guys see me ninjaing over to the side, I'm trying to eat something.
Yeah, she's trying to have... She just had dinner. She's just getting her dinner together. But yeah, let's address the bullshit first. Let's get that out of the way so that we can focus on the good shit. Because the good shit is what I want to talk about. But there was some controversy this year. Not as bad as last year, I don't think. But there was some.
Why is my nickname Lady K? K is short for Kedu, which is frog. I love frogs, so I'm Lady K. Got it?
Good. Get it? Everybody got that? Good.
I'm the froggy one.
Anywho.
Get it.
Anyway. The big controversy this year was that because of restrictions raised by the Tampa Convention Center, Metrocon was forced to have badge checkpoints at any of the major areas of the con, meaning that instead of just having a badge check at the door for most panels, there was several main areas where if you wanted to go any further, you had to have your badge with you.
And let me tell you, I enjoyed that setup a lot more than years past.
Yeah. It was really easy. It was much easier to get into areas. And because there was fewer badge checks, that means there was fewer volunteers necessary, and it made the Brute Squad's job easier. Brute Squad being Metrocon's official security.
My boys.
My boys. Anyway.
I'm dead Mama Con for a reason.
But so that made it easier, and it also helped because the fact that the other security group that used to help out, the Umbrella Corps, was not here this year. In fact, it looks like they have ended their relationship with Metrocon.
Chuckles wouldn't have been able to come down anyway.
Yeah.
Which sucks because I had something huge planned for Zombie Wars.
Yeah. But, so that's going to be, but it looks like it's going to be the end of that, unfortunately. But,
not necessarily.
Well, we'll see. But nonetheless, Brute Squad was able to keep up with this year. I mean, they had a few issues. There was a lot of stolen badges, a couple fake badges.
Couple of previous badges.
A couple people trying to use
previous year's badges.
Past badges to try to sneak in, which did not work. And even gambling. Apparently there was one of the vendors was apparently doing some gambling in the dealer's room and made the mistake of calling out, of even getting Metrocon staff involved. And that got them the boot. So.
The boot. By the way, guys, when we finally post MNL, You're gonna laugh your asses off.
We'll get to that. We will get to that.
Sorry, you segued.
I know.
You segued.
I'll give you that. That was a good opening. But speaking of the badges, let's take a look at this year's press badge. I don't have like any of the actual badges, which has the artwork by one of the guests we'll be talking about later, Miss Amelie Belcher. She does a lot of the work, but we will be showing her artwork in other areas. I have something here in a minute.
Actually, speaking of Amelie, I did an interview with her this year. You guys have
Will be. I was going to get to that.
I'm sorry, I'm sleepy.
I talked to you about this.
I know, but you're segueing for me.
Anyway, press badge this year. Very simple, very neat, very sleek. Got the Metrocon gear. Very cool stuff.
Very neat and tidy.
Very neat and tidy. And, of course, name on the back.
Never anything but.
Any name on the back so that you know I know it's my press badge, because if I lose this, I'm not getting another one. Simple as that. But
Jan almost lost hers twice.
yeah, our daughter, who we did bring with us this year, did almost lose her badge a couple times, but thankfully we were able to find it, and we
knew exactly where they were.
Yeah, and we have her badge as well with us in here at home, but they're all the same, so there's no difference there. Now,
it would have been really cute if Shannon had come through and had one that said just specifically mini press.
I know, right? That would have been too much work. Now, let's get to, we mentioned Amelie's work. Here it is right here on the official con guide. This is this year's con guide. The theme this year, order versus chaos. And oh boy, chaos.
Oh my god, they won so hard at the closing ceremony.
Oh, it was not even a question.
Actually, no, I take that back. John Cena won.
I was gonna get to that. You're spoiling all my fun.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, folks, one of the things that you'll be hearing a lot in the videos this year is this one.
And his name is John Cena.
Yeah, you think I'm kidding? You will see at least in several videos the John Cena meme is going to pop up. How? Watch and you'll see. We'll get to. Yeah, I was gonna.
He's not kidding.
He's not. I'm not kidding. But let's talk about the big elephant in the room here. Our Metrocon mascots. We've got 4 mascots like we do every year. In fact, I've got the actual picture of them right here. That's our lovely mascots this year. Very awesome group of people. Oh, you know what? Bio. Yeah, you mentioned the shirts. These here actually are a gift, courtesy of Solar Star, who's in the chat right now.
In fact, we made the promise that we were going to wear them for the Shade Speak stream today.
That was his only condition, is that we wore them tonight, and we are certainly living up to that promise. So I'm sure you're happy about that, there, Solar Star. We got a slick rig in there. I was waiting for him to show up before I did this, because before I continue on with the mascots, folks, we have a fan interaction that we have to show off. Solar Star, you dodged a bullet this weekend, because Slick Rick, who's in the chat right now, had himself a bit of fun. I'm just going to let this video speak for itself. Check this out. Hey guys, Shades here. We're at Metrocon 2016, and we just wrapped up Metrocon. Just wrapped up 2016. We're back in the hotel room, and it's initiation time, because we have ourselves, one of our fans has decided to meet us, and they are now going to regret it.
Might not be the sketchbook, but it'll work.
It will.
And now meet the victim, Slick Rick.
Oh boy. Things I do for my con family.
Bye-bye.
Lady K, if you would do the honors.
K.O.
Welcome to the family, even if you're just a fan. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Slick Rick has now been initiated.
Yep. And guess what? I never once said you guys weren't immune to that. It's not just, what's the word I'm looking for? This, I barely had any sleep this week, and you can ask him. I've slept just 12 hours just today.
I think they like it, huh?
But yeah, just because, we do our initiation videos of, our members Doesn't mean that you guys aren't included in all that.
Oh, poor Solar Star. Yeah, that sucks, dude. That happens.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can understand why they have the rule that if you lose your badge, you gotta pay to replace it. Because they get thousands of people every day while the con's open saying, listen, lost my badge. No, they can't just give away another badge because it could just be somebody off the street.
Yeah. Yeah, they could easily walk up and just say, oh, yeah, I lost my badge. And, you know, easily just get a new one. And then, oh, hey, free con. Nice. So, no. Just, no. Not going to happen. So, sorry for your friend, dude. But it happens. Anyway, let's get back on topic here. Metrocon Mascots 2016.
Chaos won so hard.
Oh, yes, they did. And let's go over our mascots here. First of all, in the Chaos side, I believe this one is Shio.
I mean, hold on, I can't see anything.
I'm trying to remember which.
I can't see a damn thing. Hold on a second. Let's see.
Like, I know who the two order ones
are. I want to say that's Shio, that's Toaster.
are. Okay. So, let's go over this. First, on the Chaos side, we're going to focus. Let me just do this.
Allow me, if you focus in on the gal with the cat ears.
Yeah, the girl with the cat ears there,
I'm pretty sure that one's Toaster.
Otherwise known as Thaddeus Ashara Eloher Salvador de Marque. Yeah, that's why they call her Toaster. She was probably one of the most energetic people I've ever seen for these mascots. I mean, she was, oh my god, crazy. Every time we saw her around the con, she was constantly
her real name is actually Kayla, by the way.
Yeah, Kayla Easton was a trip to see. That's her real name.
Oh my god, she was great.
She was fantastic. So was her partner, Kristen Clayla, as Shea, which is... Where is she? Okay, this one right here. This one right here was quite the trip. Those two, like...
They sold it so good.
Yeah, they really did. And they completely overshadowed the order pair over here. The male here in the black is Miguel Maldonado as Brigadier General Logan Marshall.
You better let me do one introduction, damn it.
And then, of course, we have our female one, which is...
Christina St. Lawrence is Major General Haruka St. Pearl.
To
their credit, Christina, she was amazing in her role. She honestly was. Miguel, I think it took a couple of days to actually sink into the role.
Yeah.
More what it is, because at closing ceremony, he had it.
Yeah. By closing ceremonies, both of them were on their game. Opening ceremonies, it was definitely a bit of a struggle. So...
Oh, don't forget to show off.
I was just getting to that. Now, let's talk about the other big thing. Let's talk about what the first things.
I gotta tape that up really good for her.
Yep, but we gotta talk about the special guests. And yes, folks, we got autographs. We got almost everybody's autograph.
We missed two. That's it. Gina only missed Eric and Christina,
who both had to leave after Friday because they were going up to San Diego Comic-Con. Yeah. But we did get to, but we do have an interview
for that matter.
Oh, no, right? But we did get to interview them, so we will have interviews with both of them. And we have autographs here from people we didn't get interviews with, such
Zach
as
Aguilar
Zach
and Max Middleman.
Yeah, let's talk about the goddamn luck these guys got this year, because Metrocon was unaware of what was about to be announced just weeks.
Oh, and we gotta make sure we mention him.
Yes, I will definitely do so. So we'll get to them in a minute. Of course, we start off with Christina V, or Christina Valenzuela for those who know her.
She's happy.
Who I have thus dubbed the Magical Queen, because she has done several
many magical girl
anime. She is Nanaha, Magical Girl Lyrical Nanaha.
She is Homura
in Puella Magi Madoka Magica. And, of course, she's now the new voice of Sailor Mars in the new Sailor Moon dubs. And that's just the start of the work that she's done. She is a very prominent voice actress and
She's very prolific for that matter.
very prolific, and definitely somebody I had on my bucket list for an interview. So I'm very grateful that I got that one done. Very awesome woman. And also she's got a YouTube singing career, which unfortunately she's kind of have to downplay a little bit. You'll hear about that in the interview. But she does lend her voice to the new Shantae game coming out, Shantae Half Genie Hero. So really cool. And this woman is a sweetheart among sweethearts.
Absolutely.
It was exactly what I expected her to be. Very cool, very awesome to meet with her. So very happy about that one. Next up on the list is, of course, one of our returning guests, Robbie Damon.
I was so mad. I should have asked to interview him this year.
We did not know, but like,
I should have asked.
this is where we start talking about how Metrocon got damn lucky, because up until like a couple of weeks ago, nobody,
2 weeks.
Nobody knew how big Max Middleman, Zach Aguilar, Robbie Damon, Christine DeVee, all these guys were going to be. And then we
Until 2
find
weeks
out,
ago.
and then of course, One Punch! Fucking One Punch Man gets announced. And Robbie Damon just happens to be everyone's favorite Toku-based hero, Moomin Rider. So that was an unexpected twist that nobody saw coming.
I was so mad.
But we did get to say hi to Robbie, and
I did congratulate him.
yep, and I even shared with him, like, he did. I actually threw them for a loop. None of the guests knew Moomin Rider's inspiration.
Nope.
At least not until I told them. Because when I met them at the interview in the autograph room, which by the way was dead that morning. Ooh, I feel bad for them on that one. But when I met them, I was rocking my double driver.
Oh, yeah. Oh, speaking of, should we tell them what our meme was for the weekend?
Oh, yeah. So I brought my double driver, and I brought 3 memories. I brought my Shades memory.
Yeah, Tyler.
I brought my Extreme memory, and I brought Fang. And all weekend long, whenever we moved that thing around, it would knock that tail, and as you know, when you hit the tail, it goes off. So all weekend long, we were both just yelling, "Shut up, Fang!"
And it wasn't just us. It was all 5 of us.
Yeah, bear in mind, we were also rooming with TJ Omega and his friend Danielle. So we had all that going on. It was just crazy. But yeah, but basically that was going on, Robbie. Then, of course...
And that was our meme for the weekend.
Yep. Next up, Kirby Morrow.
Oh, if I could take over for just a second.
By all means. In fact...
Now...
I was going to pass it to you.
Mine.
I was going to hand it to you. Don't worry. I know this is your moment, because...
Now, I don't know how many of you all know this, but I am a huge Gundam Wing fan. Now, mind you, I've watched Sailor Moon. When I was about my daughter's age, I was watching Sailor Moon. I was watching Dragon Ball. Didn't understand exactly what they were. So, Gundam Wing comes out. I'm intrigued. Well, a couple years ago, Honey got me the box set for our anniversary. Excuse me for just a second. 1, 2.
Our daughter's supposed to be asleep.
And then she heard us say a certain guest name. We're gonna get to that, don't worry.
You go back to bed.
Good night, monkey. And I think we just upset her. You're supposed to be in bed. Kids.
Anyway.
Anywho. So, hubby got me the box set a couple years ago for our anniversary. And Scott was the first one to sign it. Well, I added another one. I got it, sir. Not just there, but... Oh, that's Endless Waltz. Oh, this poor case has seen better days. My poor discs. My poor discs. But Here, go ahead and grab that one. If you guys can't see it that well, that is specifically Troa and Heavy Arms. Now, a couple years ago, I had Scott do the same thing, Shiza, for Duo and Death Scythe.
Get a closer look there.
Only thing I gotta say is 4 more to go, bitches.
Let me just pick this up real quick.
4 more to go. I will have all 6 main pilots on this case by the time I'm done. I don't care how I do it, but I will.
Anywho, so
But getting back to Kirby, that is not the only awesome moment of the weekend that we had. In fact, the reason my daughter Jana was out here when she heard us mention him was because she is a huge fan of his too, but for an entirely different reason. For those of you who don't know, he voices Cole off in Ninjago. Well, guess who's an extremely huge fan of Ninjago and Cole's her favorite character? Kirby was all she was able to talk about for the entire weekend.
she was so excited to get to meet him, and then when she did, it was everything she imagined it would be.
Yep. In fact, we got the cutest picture of them, for that matter, and it was...
You're going to need to post that up on the RVT Facebook page.
I will. Just not tonight, I'm too damn tired.
Understandable there. All right, so let's move on from there. Next up, so we had Kirby Mara, who was also Miroku from Inuyasha. Well, let's talk about the big old half demon himself, Richard Ian Cox, the voice of Inuyasha. Also the voice of Big Cloud from Zoids. Even though he was tired as hell because he got his plane arrived a little late, like he had some issues, we actually found out apparently his passport expired.
Hold on for a second. Rick McFarlane, I did not try to use the disc set for the replacement. My daughter did.
Yeah. And that's Slick Rick, by the way.
I know.
That is. Anyway. Anywho, getting back to Richard.
And, sorry, No, I'm actually replying to something. Lex Dakar, actually keep an eye out for my Kirby Moore interview. We do talk about it.
Yep. But, getting back to Richard Ian Cox, even though he was tired, because apparently his passport had expired.
Yep.
Very much familiar, isn't it, dear?
Yep.
Scott McNeil had to deal with that a couple years back.
But he still made it on time.
He still made it on time because he got damn lucky.
Barely, but he did.
Yeah, but Richard did not get so lucky. He got delayed a whole day, pretty much, because of his passport. But he did make it, and we did get his interview pretty much on time.
Same difference, Slick Rick. It was one of you two.
Yeah, anyway. But he was actually a pretty funny guy, all things considered. He was very cool to chat with.
He's a sweetheart.
He is. There was really not any bad guests. Now, unfortunately, as you know, even though he's listed here on the frickin' book, Scott McNeil was not here this year. He was unfortunately.
I was out my drinking buddy.
Yeah, he was out this year, but for good reason. He actually had a gig. He booked a movie, and unfortunately,
it was a movie.
I believe it was. It was something. It was London live action, so I think it was a movie. I don't know if it was like.
If it was Librarians related because they're filming right now, I'm gonna shit a brick.
You never know. Never know. But he unfortunately wasn't able to make it because they were filming the very weekend of Metrocon, so there's no way even if he did manage to get out early and book a flight, it would have cost too much for him because the con would not be able to pay for him to be there. So it really sucks. Solar Star, I said this to you before, and I'll say this again. Ty had you beat. I guarantee you Ty had you beat. But in his place was Zach Aguilar, who...
Oh, he was a little sweetheart.
He was. Very
he
new...
was such a little sweetheart.
New and upcoming voice actor, but landed himself a big role as the voice of Genos in One Punch Man.
Lonely cyborg.
Oh, yes. Very cool dude to chat with. We talked with him again during one of their autograph signings when there was nobody in line. She's been in there. Hey, Angie. But, yeah, Zach was a very cool dude. As was his partner in crime for this one, Max Middleman. The voice of Saitama. If you have seen One Punch Man, the first 2 episodes have been released. Unfortunately, we missed episode 2 because, well, we had something else to take care of. We'll get to that later. But Max, when we talked to him on, it was Sunday morning, I think.
Briefly.
Yeah, very briefly, but I talked with him a bit on Saturday morning or Sunday morning. He was also a very chill dude. He was him and Robbie Damon were going back and forth for a while. They were having fun with each other.
Actually, I'm gonna just interrupt you for a quick second. Now, most of you know we're pretty. The four of us are in good with the Metrocon staff.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I was talking with Mary over the weekend, and she was telling me that Robbie Damon is the very reason Max came to Metrocon. And he's the one that told them to take the chance on him. He just landed the biggest role of the year, yada, yada, yada. So, there we go. And that was like 3 weeks before One Punch Man was announced.
And boy, did they make the good call on that one. They're like, they took Robbie's suggestion. He's like, okay, we're going to go for it. And boom, One Punch Man. So that was very cool. And Max was a very awesome dude to talk with. Like, very cool. I mean, now, the only reason we didn't get him for interviews, even though we probably could have, is because apparently he doesn't do interviews. But I'm willing to bet that's going to change soon. I'm willing to bet that will change in the future. So
that? I missed it.
That Max Miniman doesn't do interviews.
Actually, I was talking with Mary about that again.
Oh.
The reason he's not doing them, you know, guys, I gotta tell this to him specifically, so.
Oh.
He talks too much.
I can understand that. Okay.
So, but according to everybody, I had a chance to talk with him for a couple minutes during the autograph signing for my daughter. Max is a little sweetheart. Wouldn't mind getting to sit down and just talk with him one-on-one. No cameras, no voice recorders, nothing. But maybe next time. He's younger than me.
Yeah.
God, he's younger than me.
We're getting old.
Fuck.
Yep. Anyway, moving on. Next up, a lady that you got to be familiar with, Miss Laura Post.
Everybody's favorite mommy theorist.
For those who don't know what we're talking about, she is the voice of Ragyu Kiryuin from Kill la Kill. Yes, the rainbow-haired nightmare. She also voices Adi in League of Legends and Valentine in Skullgirls. So, very cool. And I didn't get a chance to talk to her much this weekend, but this one did. And from all accounts,
she's a sweetheart. She is such a sweetheart. Oh my gracious.
No, definitely.
Oh, and you also forgot Little Witch Academia.
Oh yes, Little Witch Academia. Well, yeah. See, I can never remember. I can't keep up with everything. It's one of those days, right?
I saw.
But yeah, very awesome to hear. So
Dude, don't even cue fangirl screaming. Don't even cue fangirl screaming. We haven't gotten to the best part yet.
Oh yeah. And then I guess you could call this the other big guest of the year as far as voice actors go. The 4Kids legend himself, Mr. Eric Stewart, voice of Brock and James from Pokemon, Seto Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh!, and hell, if you want to go back old school, he's Gowie from Slayers. This guy had, and
you know, go figure that we had Eric Stewart there, considering what Ty just did.
Oh yeah, it should be. He hasn't released that yet, so we'll have to see on that. But that being said, Eric was awesome to chat with. He was a very cool dude. We had a little bit of a scheduling issue because apparently
Just a smidge.
There was some
but we were able to get it ironed out, and we got our interview.
Yeah, we got our interview. That was the one
That's all that matters.
that was every year we always have that one interview that tends to get thrown around a little bit that doesn't go on time, but
Well, last year was because there was a family emergency for one of the other
yeah, I
cast
mean
members.
it's not. There's always some reason for it. It's just there always is that one interview that never is on schedule. It has to get moved around. But with Metrocon, even if that happens, we usually get it, so it's not a big deal.
Yep.
But Eric was awesome to chat with. Very, very fun dude. You know, I had some fun talking with him. I know TJ did as well. So he'll have his interview up on his channel before long, and we will as well. I've already got the footage dumped and ready to go. Now I want to bring up a couple of other guests that we had the chance to meet with. We already mentioned Amelie Belcher, Ami-chan.
Got another interview with her. Be sure to check that out because we do actually talk about something really important to her this year.
Yep. Very interesting. So if you guys are into fan art at all or art of any kind, definitely check out that interview. It's going to be cool.
All I gotta say is Professor Willow. Woo!
And then, of course, we wanted to mention another guest artist who we didn't really get a chance to interact with much. At least I didn't.
Well, his last year attending the con was back in 2008.
Yeah.
Before he moved back to Japan full time.
Yeah.
So,
This is an artist who actually who actually lived in Japan for many years and came back here. And as soon as he came back, they immediately invited him back to Metrocon, Mr.
Yep.
Steve Bennett.
I mean, he's a legend in the business, actually, from what I've heard. Because Amelie was like, "You've never heard of Steve Bennett?"
Yeah. He actually he's actually worked part-time with the creator of shows like New Dominion Tank Police, Lupin the Third, etc. over at Studio Ohima. That's out in Tokyo. So
Ohima, by the way.
yeah. Now, I don't know if you've seen any of the shows he's worked on, but he's worked on stuff like Urusei Yatsura and Yamamoto.
He was such a sweetheart, Rick. Oh my gosh. I got a chance to sit down and talk with him for a minute last night, and I regret not getting to talk with him sooner.
Yeah. Same with the other artists that we had on here, No Flutter and Ogata Baruku, who were also very, very awesome people to chat with.
Ogawa had to leave pretty early, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't see her a lot over the weekend.
Nope, she was there Sunday because we were there in Artist Alley, and I was talking with her.
Then they didn't bring her on at closing then.
They didn't. They missed a lot of people at closing.
Yeah, they missed a lot of guests for that matter.
Yeah, I don't even think they brought any of the voice actors out.
They didn't.
So anyway, but yeah, Ogata Baruku, another talented artist who has her own comic called Fallen. Really awesome lady to chat with. You know, definitely check her stuff. Fallen-comic.com is her stuff.
No Flutter was an absolute sweetheart.
Oh, absolutely.
To talk with. Actually, Jane and I stopped at her booth, and Jane kept looking through her books like multiple times, just wanting to soak in the art, and it's really good stuff. It honestly is.
Yeah. But and then of course cosplay guests. We didn't talk with many of them, unfortunately. Like we didn't get a chance to talk with those like Parlay Productions or Mew 21 or Aaron Hurst. But there are a couple. Of course, we have to talk about our girl Pika Bellichew. We will. She actually had a lot more involvement in the con this year than she ever had.
Yep, and the problem is that she actually told me to expect it, and I forgot about it.
Yep, caught us completely off guard. But she was.
I laughed my ass off.
Well, yeah, you'll see that in the future, but we won't say what.
Nope.
Gotta have some surprises.
Let's just say that she's a secret in something.
You'll figure it out, I'm sure. The other one we want to talk about, because I actually got an interview with them myself, Ollie Roo Cosplay.
Oh.
For those who have never seen their stuff, look them up on their Ollie Roo Cosplay, OLIROUX. These guys are known for a lot of... They've been coming to Metro... They actually met at Metrocon back in 2013. And they actually have been... Ever since then, they've been doing a lot of cosplay music videos together. And if there's a couple of them that they've done that I've actually seen in in the AMV contest a couple years, such as Attack on Selfie and Hotodagu. If you look those up, you'll find them. But recently, they exploded when one of their videos, a Undertale video, you had to know I was going to get to that.
Sweet ass boots. That's all I gotta say.
But yeah, that video went viral with over 1 million views. And after that, and then I find out that they were coming back to Metrocon as an official cosplay guest. I had to get an interview with them. And they were both awesome to talk with. Like, seriously. Oliver and Rue were just darlings to chat with.
Yeah, it was actually kind of funny because they had told John that they weren't bringing the Metrocon cosplay. And lo and behold, what do we see at closing ceremonies?
Yeah, we see them walking around, and sure enough, they've got on those sweet, Oliver's walking around in those sweet-ass boots.
I wanted to picture David, and I didn't get a chance to stop him.
I know, but very cool guys to talk with. So very much looking forward. I'm actually going to be using that interview as a special edition of Phantom Paradise. I actually forgot to shoot the intro at the con, but I can work around that. I can fix that problem. Don't worry. So I will be doing that. Very cool stuff. We also didn't get a chance to talk with Dee's Costume Closet. It's hard to spot the cosplay guests walking
Sometimes, yes, it is. I will grant you that.
Because, yeah, it's crazy. So, and of course, we also have to mention our friends Rob and Zoe Van West.
Actually, if I may, dear.
Go for it.
I actually went to the rave this year. One of my girls actually dragged me to the rave. She's like, girl, you haven't lived until you've actually been in one. Well, I get there, and sure enough, we come out, and I see Rob sitting at the table. He looks at me. He's like, when the hell did you get in there? I'm like, about 20 minutes ago. He's like, well, figures it's after we get off stage. Yeah. My gal pal Megan finally drags me to the rave, dresses me up for it, I might add.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't get to see Robin Zoe on stage. Damn it.
Yeah. And in case you're wondering, the actual rave is actually called the Metro Massive. Right here, and they have a whole bunch of guest DJs coming from all over the world.
Spanning 4 continents this year, from what they told us.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got stuff from Australia, Japan, Canada, and where was the other one? I think that was, oh yeah. And of course, here in the United States. But yeah, very cool group of people.
In fact, if I may, the guys that were on stage were Vampy, Hardcore Plur, and Neocore when I was in there.
Nice.
Oh, and Tamarax. There was 4 of them.
Oh yeah, good old Tamarax, one of the regulars for Metro Massive. But very cool group of guys, and
Avicii? I do not see an Avicii on here.
no, I don't think I see him in here either. And then, so that was what we had starting out. Now let's get to the real fun. Let's talk a little bit. Let's see. I know they have the events like separately listed in here. Normally they don't.
No, they don't. You just passed it, actually.
No, normally I know they have like a special listing of them. Because we got to talk about the main, the big attractions, the events.
And guys, after 5 years of attending Metrocon, this year was the first year we got a perfect score.
Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is not even all of them. This isn't even all the events. Because I think we got 8.
Let's see.
Because there's 1, 2.
2 of them we recorded twice.
Yeah, I know that. But, yeah, because there's a couple missing. Okay, yeah, there's a couple of them that aren't listed here.
Star Party. No, Star Party's right there. Never mind.
It's the 2 stunt shows.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The 2 stunt shows. So we're gonna knock those
We
out.
got 8 out of 8 this year.
So we're gonna go up the list here, and we're gonna start with the 2 that aren't listed on here just yet, which are starting off. We're gonna have the superhero comedy and stunt show, though.
It wasn't as strong as it was last year.
No, it wasn't. And in fact, we'll
get to that in a second, Lex.
We'll get to that, guys. We will get to that. Don't worry. We'll explain what that curse is in a minute there, Lex.
God, if this is Concrete, I'm fucked.
Yeah. Anyway, first up was the superhero comedy and stunt show, which, as one person I was talking with pointed out, really wasn't much of a stunt show this year. There was hardly any stunt work going on, and
it was more comedy than anything. Actually,
it was the comedy was there. If you saw last year's superhero stunt show, then you kind of have the idea of like who to expect. A lot of the same cast members came back.
Actually, what really impressed me was the fact that they actually had the founder of the Butch Foundation reprise his role as Tony Stark.
Yeah, He
was actually there on stage.
Well, he was there last year. He just wasn't on.
No, he wasn't there last year. It was just via
no.
camera.
Yeah, but when he was there for the closing roll call.
I did not see that.
He had his Iron Man on. I
didn't see him.
I'll show you later. Anyway. So that being said, superhero stunt show. It was still fun. Like, don't get me wrong. It was still fun as hell to watch. And they had some goods. They brought Deadpool back, because you can't have a show like this without a Deadpool. And this year they had a mix, a little bit of, it was mostly Marvel, but they had a little bit of DC mixed in there as well. Because they had an Arrow in there. They had a Green Arrow. And, remind me? Oh yeah, I'm Batman. Actually, I want to point something out. Because last year, one of the things they did was they mixed in some clips from the popular, like, superheroes at a coffee shop. From the group of, like, How It Should Have Ended. From the animation team there.
Which made for really great segue, intermission type stuff.
But this year, I think they went a step further. They actually filmed their own with a live action version of it.
I think we're going to have to play the SPOD clip again here at the end.
Yeah, we'll see. And then... the Batman from those clips actually shows up on stage. Like, you could tell that they were designed for the stunt show because the actors were talking about the show. And you'll see that when I finally get the clips from the director, Chris Fields, and put that all together. Don't worry, folks. We will have live streams. I have it planned. Anyway. No, not in the superhero show, Rick. Unfortunately, he was not. Yeah. Heesh was the company, but yeah, they had those. That's the ones I'm talking about.
Joker was not in superhero stunt show.
Yeah, I was just saying, he's not in the super show, but...
Morocco's Joker was fucking spot on.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Now, the reason why it wasn't much of a stunt show is because last year the stunt work was done by a group called Shinobi School. In fact, the Spider-Man that you saw on stage last year was Shinobi Poli, who was actually a bit of a parkour runner. And the reason why they weren't involved this year is because they had their own show to run.
Which was amazing.
The Borderlands stunt show, Assault on Metro.
It was great.
Oh, it was a blast to watch.
It was great.
Basically, they had 4 Borderlands characters playing basically a tabletop RPG, which was being acted out on stage. And sometimes the characters would get up from the table and join them on stage to do the stunts. They had a whole bunch of different types of...
it was great.
It was more of a circus show than a real full-on stunt.
No, it was aerials.
It was more of an aerial circus type of thing than it was a full-on stunt show, but they didn't have enough stunt work in there to make up for it. It was a fun show to watch. Don't worry, we have that one on camera as well.
You guys, all I gotta say is Handsome Jack and what was the term that they used? Midget psychos or something like that?
Yeah, midget psychos.
Handsome Jack and midget psychos. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
You'll learn about that when you see it. Trust me, it's funny as hell. You'll love it. It's great. Anyway, and that was good. That was an awesome show. Like, really good start.
It was.
I think it was.
That was Anne's baby, too. She did such an amazing job.
Yeah, Ann Toley, one of our good friends who's been in Metrocon for years, did most of the work for that one. It was a great show to watch. So definitely, when you guys see that, definitely check that out. Now, let's get to the ones that are actually listed here. First up, Metro Night Live! Live from Tampa, Florida, it's Metro Night! Which, credit to them this year. They did what I had to do for them last year. They created a full intro and everything. So I don't have to do that this year.
It looked great, too. I think they actually took a cue from yours.
They went above me. Because they got shots of them around they had, like, I don't know how they got those shots. They had shots around the convention center to make it look like an actual SNN opening. But before the convention.
It was also a 3D shot.
Yeah, it was really well done.
Yes, it is a spinoff of it.
Yes, Metro Night Live is based...
But it's geek-themed.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch
entirely geek-themed.
It's recreations and retellings of different skits from all various sketch comedy shows, such as Saturday Night Live, Monty Python, Whitest Kids You Know, etc. You know, Mad TV, whatever you can think of.
I'm trying so hard to keep my mouth shut because there's one I want to scream, but I can't.
Yeah, there's one you're gonna want to see. In fact,
It's at the very end.
Yeah.
It's the last sketch, and it's so worth it.
It was the last, like, literally, even the tech guys noticed, because I was right next to them when I was recording in the tech booth, is that I was laughing so hard. Even like I was quiet. I was like, I was doing.
To keep quiet so he didn't overpower the audio.
Yeah, I had to keep quiet, but I had to laugh because it was just so funny watching it as it was going on. It was so great. I loved it. These guys
Culver was fucking fantastic. Oh my god.
Culver Dow, one of the co-directors who had a lot of work this year.
Yes.
He was definitely a busybody this year, but he did some amazing work this year. Dragon Zeron, dude, JC Calloway, you should have been here earlier. We already talked about it. Check the archive when you go up later. Anyway.
No, honey, he's asking about...
I know what he's asked about. We've already talked about it. We're moving on. Anyway. So, when you guys see that, we're definitely going to be loving the show with that. Next up, Rhythm City Chronicles.
RCC was amazing this year. It was so good.
RCC was a fantastic show.
Always is.
I don't know if it was as good as last year's, to be honest. Like, I'm kind of on the
fence.
It
was actually a little more story-driven, especially with the epilogue video.
Yeah, I would definitely say so. But the dances were still just as good as ever. The acting was just as much fun. And definitely worth checking out. Like, I won't say, I'm definitely not saying it's bad. Do not mistake me.
Nope.
It's not bad at all. I just think it's kind of hard to top what they did last year. Last year's was phenomenal. But
I don't know. I really enjoyed this year's. I actually had to go back and see it because I missed a good chunk of it. But it was such a wonderful show to watch. The story was interesting.
that's a good way to put it.
It was interesting. I will definitely grant you that. And it's kind of funny that we brought up Laura Post earlier because Rocky is actually one of the main characters in it.
Yep, you'll have to check that out. So definitely look for it. Now for the one that I think you're going to want to talk about, the Metrocon Fire Show.
Guys, I actually literally told Alex this the other day. I fangirled so hard I needed to change my panties.
And if you wonder why, that's why.
The Fire Show theme this year was Elder Scrolls Skyrim. And they did it. Absolute justice.
We will not spoil what they pulled.
However, we got 2 angles this year.
We did. In fact, it might be one of the first videos we do because that's the easiest one for me to edit. But yes, folks, I don't know how they're going to top what they did this year.
Don't say that.
I'm
They always do.
That's the idea. Ah! But yes, if you guys are Skyrim fans, or if you just enjoy the Fire Show from years past, I am imploring you to check this out when we post it.
It was so good.
It was fantastic. Probably one of their best ones yet.
It was so funny because one of our guys, one of the guys from one of the other shows, Ian, I believe it was, Thursday night was first night for Fire Show, right? So our buddy James helps me and Jana get pretty decent seats, like 4 people back from the demarcation line. Well, towards the finale, my eyes just go, ooh. He said it was like watching a kid in the candy store. I was fangirling so hard.
Thank you, Solar Star. He's keeping his lips sealed.
Thank you.
We appreciate the respect because, yeah, you guys need to see
You
this.
guys have to see this.
You will not be ready for what's
What's
coming.
even better is I can say that I am very, very good friends with 2 of the girls that were in on this.
All right, so that's coming later. Next on the list is the Metrocon Star Party. If you want to laugh, this is the place to go.
In fact, I think we have to tell them about what happened.
Oh, so here's what happens. Basically, the theme is a space theme. It's a Star Trek kind of thing where they have Mario in the captain's chair.
Farscape.
It was more Star Trek than anything.
Screw you.
Anyway, and at one point during the show, this happened. Hold on. Actually, I gotta play something else to let this go. I'll just play this.
Burn! Burn!
Play that again. And then right halfway through the show, we hear this again.
And his name is John C.
And now, you'll see what that means later, but, of course, though I'm sure most of you have already figured out where that's going. And Mario is walking around, and he's standing up, and he's looking around like, who is that? I did not see him. Matter of fact, I don't think I can see him. But without missing a beat,
Our 9-year-old daughter screams, it was John Cena. I'm pretty sure it was loud enough to catch on tape.
and not only that, but
She had our entire section in giggles.
and probably even had a couple of the cast members on
Oh,
stage
yeah.
in giggles.
Oh, yeah.
So that
In fact, I know for a fact that she had James clutching his sides in the back. For those of you who don't know, James, our buddy James, actually Spada Ace,
Sped S.
is the director of the Metrocon Star Party. So, and it was an amazing show. You guys have got to check it out when we finally get around to posting.
Yeah, give Spade Ace some love when that goes up. Trust me, he will be joining us for that stream. I guarantee it. He will make the time. Now comes the two big ones. Folks, 4 years! 4 years have we had a ongoing curse with one of the events at Metrocon.
2 of them I had to leave because of interviews.
And one of them last year was because of a fucking memory card error. But this year that curse ended.
No, 3 of them. 3 of them I had to leave for interviews. One was memory card error.
But nonetheless, this year, and the event we're talking about is the Fantasy Masquerade, a combination stage show and ballroom dance. For those who don't know what this is, what we mean by that is that basically on stage there's a show going on, there's a stage show, and then the actors, then what will happen is in between segments, the crowd will be in full dress, they'll have formal gowns and dresses.
We're going to have to explain what our curse with the masquerade is.
Yeah. Basically, for whatever reason, because of those events, we couldn't record it. We couldn't record the stage portion of this show.
Just hold on, man.
That's what we're getting to that. Don't worry. We are getting to that. That's coming next. But 4 years we tried to get the Fantasy Masquerade. This year we finally recorded it. And I was going to make sure of that because of the theme this year. And again, one look at the page says everything.
Sailor Moon with Power Rangers, something like that.
Sailor Moon the Sailor Scouts teaming up with the Power Rangers. And folks, without spoiling anything for you, you guys are in for some twists. Oh my God, what they pulled in this show left me in tears. It was incredible what they pulled off this year. Very cool stuff. Big shout out to our girl Sarah who played Tifa Lockhart, because yeah, even Final Fantasy was involved in this shit. Rick, don't spoil nothing. But yeah, this show, you guys
spoil one more thing about the masquerade, and I'm going to hit you.
But yeah, but yes, the show was more phenomenal, to say the least. And I definitely encourage you guys to check it out. I will be posting that as well. I am very happy to finally get that one. And now we come to the main event. The 2016 Metrocon Anime Human Combat Chess Match. And oh my God. This, my friends, is
I actually think, and I can probably say this without spoiling too much, was the most change we've had in Kings in a single chess match.
Oh yes, and this is going to be one of the most unexpected chess matches you will ever see.
Yes.
So many twists and turns. Bear in mind, we're going by the theme Order versus Chaos, and nowhere else is this theme more prevalent than in the chess match. Oh my God. What they pulled for this year's chess match was incredible. And don't worry, folks, when you guys see this, you will understand just how incredible it was. To simply put, if you've seen the prologues, we've got our 2 main characters. On the Order side, the main characters are Auron from Final Fantasy X, and of course, the man Phoenix Wright, who has been a prominent figure in several past chess matches, now takes center...
As the arbiter of the rules.
As an arbiter of the rules, now takes center stage as the king. And on the opposite side, in charge of chaos, while there's been many kings, the main face of it all was none other than the twisted psychopathic clown from Final Fantasy VI himself, Kefka Palazzo.
Now, I have to ask, was that Kefka, like, the cosplayer Kefka?
Yes. That was...
They got him!
If you've ever seen on YouTube, there's a popular video known as the Kefka cosplayer. And he was their Kefka this year. And dear God, did he live up to his reputation, because he was perfect.
I can actually say this without spoiling anything. He was also Billy from the Masquerade.
Yep, he was our Billy. He was our Billy Cranston in the Masquerade. So, I can understand that, dude. Hey, good on you. He did his, so that's very cool. But yeah, folks, when you see what they did at this year's chess match, you are going to be blown away. If you've seen the Kefka cosplayer and then you see what they've pulled off for the chess match this year, you will understand just how good they did.
Oh my god.
All the actors did good.
So good.
And then we had to give one more shout out. Because one of the characters in this year's chess match was Yang from Ruby. You know where I'm going with this.
Yes, I do.
Because Yang was played by one of the regulars in the Metrocon cast, Emu Feist, who we've talked to in past streams. And also, one of the other major regulars we have here is the co-director of Metro Night Live, Matt Elliott.
Can I say this? Because I got the perfect segue for it. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. And he did, and he did, and he did.
Yes. Matt, after the second day chess match, proposed to Emu.
And she said yes.
So, yeah. And there are pics of it on Facebook. And
If we had known it was going to happen, we would have recorded it.
yes, we would have certainly gotten on video. But yeah, big congratulations to Emu and Matt. You guys should be really happy together. So that's going to be a lot of...
Oh, another set of congratulations. It hasn't happened yet, but for those of you who have not heard, the director of this year's Rhythm City Chronicles, Levi.
Ah, yes, Levi and his lovely
wife, Kalina. They're expecting their first child in a few months. In fact, oh my god, I got your baby belly.
Yeah, you'll actually see, because Kalina is a character in the Rhythm City Chronicles this year. And you will see. You can see the bump.
There is no mistaking.
There is no hiding that bump. It is there. You will see it. All I will say is, if you're looking for it in the Rhythm City Chronicles, think Borderlands. That's all I'm saying.
Think her.
Well,
Yes. Yes.
yes.
Real marriage.
Real proposal. This happened off stage.
This was off stage after chess match.
So yeah, the proposal was real. So big shout out to Emu and Matt. You guys, congratulations. You guys are going to be real. I suspect you guys are going to be real happy together.
It was so sweet.
It was. Because and she always finds it funny because if you've ever seen Emu in past shows, she's always playing male characters. This was the first year she plays a female, and she gets a marriage proposal out of it.
She was amazing as Yang, for that matter.
Yes, she was. You guys will like her as Yang. Trust me. But that just, oh my god. And despite the badge restrictions that happened this year and everything else, it was still an amazing convention. The atmosphere was still phenomenal, seeing everybody happy together. One thing I'm going to talk about is every year there always seems to be one particular cosplay set of cosplayers that seem to be rampant, as in everyone's kind of wearing this one, like, cosplays of one series. And my heart was a flutter when I saw that this year's most common cosplay was Undertale.
Ah, yes.
There were a
Where's my
ton.
phone? Where's my phone?
There was a ton of Undertale cosplayers this year at the con. And both of us actually have pics to share on that regard, because we both got a few pictures of Undertale cosplayers.
In fact, I've got a non-Undertale one I've got to show off really quick, if you would please, honey.
Okay, go ahead.
I can't reach the camera.
Needless to say, this should come as no surprise to anyone who knows Lady K.
I'll be posting it later, no worries.
Now, I gotta pull mine back up here.
I found not one Sanji, but two!
But for me, what really got me happy is I actually found a fellow YouTuber. For any Undertale fans out there, if you've ever heard the Sans cover of the Steven Universe song Stronger Than You, where it's done as Sans' voice, that was done by a YouTuber by the name of DJ Smell. Well, lo and behold, he just happened to show up at Metrocon this year.
Also,
Oh.
another awesome pick.
Yep, we got Jaina trying to show mercy to Hyper God of Death Azrael there, or God of Hyper Death Azrael. Really cool stuff. But yeah.
And then there's this Sans here.
And oh yeah, this one.
He was awesome.
Got a Genocide Run Sans there with a Gaster Blaster. And you know it's Genocide Run because he's got Papyrus' scarf on. Lot of amazing cosplayers, but yeah. There was a whole Undertale meetup, couple of Undertale meetups that happened at the con. A lot. We saw one of them.
Of course, there was this picture, but I posted that on Facebook.
Yeah, yep. So,
Yes, she did have a lot of fun.
oh, Jaina had a fun. She was tired as hell and got bored a few times, but she had a blast. So yeah, but I was just really happy to see that Undertale was getting so much
I was
love.
excited for this one.
Oh yeah.
And this should come as no surprise. If you can't see them that well, that's Giro and Battle Armor Natsume from Sergeant Frog. And I absolutely made that cosplayer's day because I was the first person to know what it was.
But yeah, meeting DJ Smell, really cool dude, very cool to chat with him. If you've not seen his stuff, go look him up on YouTube. He's done a bunch of other Nekomimi, I honestly didn't go. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't go to very many fan panels. Mainly because after a while, you've kind of seen them all. And I always look for, and I never have enough time considering I have to record all of the events. Oh, God. But, so I can understand where I really can't and sympathize with you on that one, unfortunately. But I can understand where you're coming from. If they weren't that good. Honestly, I don't know what happened on that regard. But that's why I tend to stick to more of the events, because I know those never disappoint. And just walking around and seeing the chat or seeing the crowd in general, everyone seemed to be having at least a good time. There was still plenty of fun to be had. There wasn't, because of the fact there wasn't as many just random stranglers coming in, a lot of the insanity that the con usually has was a little subdued this year, though it had its fair share. Actually, I think it was Sunday, there was a group of people doing a full performance of the Mulan song, Make a Man Out of You, down on the bottom floor. We were up on the top floor. We were watching them do it. It was just crazy as hell.
It was funny as shit.
Oh, yes, it was. And I actually saw a couple of Undertale cosplayers doing a dance to the song Drop Bop Candy, which is another song that's been Undertale covered. And I actually caught me off guard when I heard it. I went by and I suddenly hear the song playing. I'm like, wait, what the? Whoa? Look over and I see them dancing to it. I was like, oh, damn. I had to sit down and watch them. It was fun. Solar Star, I was going to go check that out, but I never got a chance to. I did get a few LPH. I didn't play as heavily as a lot of people did, but oh dear God, did Pokemon Go was a huge thing this year. One of the things that Metrocon did, which I thought was very clever, is they actually compensated the cast and crew to go out and keep lures up at all of the nearby Pokestops at all times so that there was constantly Pokemon coming in. If you were on the hunt for a Gyarados, Metrocon was your place to go because there were so many goddamn Magikarps there this weekend. Good God.
Aww. I just got bowled over.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, if you were looking for a Gyarados, I'm pretty sure anyone who was seriously hunting for a Gyarados that weekend probably got one by the end because there was that many fucking Magikarps. And Psyducks, too. Psyducks were plentiful this weekend. Not that I saw JC, maybe, but I didn't see anyone myself. But then again, Toku was kind of lax this year. I mean, even in the vendor's room, there wasn't that many Toku sellers compared to years past. I was a little disappointed by that. As was TJ, to be honest. Though he got his one normal vendor showed up, the one he usually gives his money to every year.
I was so mad because there was one Sanji figure I have not been able to find online that they had this year, and I could not get it.
Ugh.
It was only $25 and I couldn't get it.
Mets, if I could, I would, my friend. Traveling is not exactly my forte, unfortunately.
To be honest, we didn't have a lot of SAO cosplayers.
There were a few.
There were a fair few, but it wasn't as prolific as it was years ago.
Yeah.
Now, we did actually have a couple of really well-done evolutions.
Yeah, there was a few. There was a good amount of Pokemon cosplay, all things considered. But then again, with Pokemon Go being the big thing right now, is not surprised. Nice. Well, at least you had some fun, right, Neko Mimi? But yeah, it was the atmosphere wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna. I was really worried that there was gonna be a lot. It was gonna be a lot more somber given the changes that was going on, but thankfully not.
Especially with Scott not being there.
Scott, though, I will say Scott not being there definitely hurt in some areas. The autograph lines suffered greatly, I think, because of that. Because normally when Scott's there, that room is packed. This year, not so much. Like, we went in there Sunday morning, it was dead. And I mean dead. It was unbelievable for an autograph line to be that dead. It was shocking, to be honest. And I felt bad for the guests there. Because, like, you know, you go out of your way to come to this con and nobody's going to show up for your autograph sections. Good Lord. But, nonetheless, the atmosphere, and thankfully it did not hurt the overall
PM.
One Punch Man. There were a few.
Yes, there were a fair few. I saw quite a few Tatsumakis, Genoses. There were a few Saitamas. We did see a single Moomin Rider.
Yep, we did see a Moomin Rider.
I'm trying to think of anybody else. I was actually kind of sad. I didn't see a Sonic.
I think I saw one.
I didn't see a Sonic this year.
I
I was so sad because I would have loved to have recreated that one scene just once. That picture.
But yeah, okay, well, at least okay. So there was some good lines. Okay, well, maybe I just caught him at a bad time. I don't know. Yeah, even Rick says he saw Sonic. Okay. Now we're talking the One Punch Man character, not the Sonic. There is the infamous Sonic cosplayer was there as well. Actually had Pokemon Trainer
I'm
One.
talking One Punch Man Sonic, the ninja Sonic.
If you've seen One Punch Man, you know exactly who we're talking about.
Poor
Anyway.
bastard.
Oh.
He'll never have children.
Anyway, getting back on topic. And one thing I will say is that even with all these changes, Metrocon still got its numbers up.
11,898.
So that speaks volumes of how good the fan base is that they wouldn't let all these changes. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and call out, for those of you who are complaining, for anyone who's complaining about the badge restrictions,
Especially if they were in our fan base.
if you can't afford to go because of any legit reasons, fine. Fair point. But if you could afford to go and you're just bitching because now you can't skim off that and you wanted to get for free, fuck you. We don't want you.
I did not see any Silver Fangs this year, no. Damn it. He was an amazing character.
Yeah. Solar Star, there was a couple of Dr. Eggmans. One of them was actually a cast member.
Yes.
So you might have seen the cast member. In fact, we were talking with him. Mike is one of our good buddies. He's a trip. Oh, God.
He was amazing this year.
Yeah. But yeah, so there was a few Eggmans running around. There was a couple of all different types. The cosplay was, once again, even though there was a lot of Undertale cosplay, the cosplay was still very diverse this year. So very cool.
Good.
Now he'll learn. Now he'll learn.
But, no, guys, seriously, the way they changed everything up this year helped so much. It honestly did. It kept the lines down for starters because you didn't have to check badges incessantly at the door.
Mm-hmm.
It actually kept the voice actors actually felt a little more at ease knowing that all these checkpoints were in place, which I can say because I heard it from the mouths of quite a few of them myself. I mean, in all honesty, it was just a safer con in general.
Yeah. The only...
Because, if I may,
mm-hmm.
Jana was worried about getting separated from either of us during the weekend. And she knew where she could go to find somebody to help her in the event that did happen, which it did not. It didn't happen, but she knew where she could go and who she could go to.
Yeah. As Nekwe Mimi points out, the only real negative from the whole thing was that because Artist Alley got moved from outside in the public area to into the vendor's room, there was a slight dip in sales. But I think that's it's hard much as
it makes up for the fact that there were a lot of robberies last year.
Yeah.
And in years prior, for that matter.
Yeah, honestly, I think it kind of balances itself out in the end. I mean, it sucks, but it's a small price to pay, I think. I mean, and I know for some artists that may seem like a huge price, and I understand that. But in the grand scheme of things, it's still a small price to pay. But for a safer con,
Can you do Solar Star, please?
Oh, jeez. Yeah, dude. Seriously, hold on. Where is it? Yeah. Solar Star, Dave! Uh, so, so here's what's gonna happen. I'm not going to be posting anything up right away. A couple of reasons.
I'm making him take a break.
Couple of reasons. One of them is that. And other reasons is I have to wait a couple of weeks before I can request the footage that I need from the staff, from the Metrocon staff. I also got to get in contact with a couple of the other directors, since they probably have their own footage to use. Then I can just post all that up together. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be working on the fire show first, since that's the least amount of editing that I'm going to have to do. So I'm probably going to be working on that next week, once I get my week break. And then from there, I will probably be working on everything else once I get everything I need. If there's a week or so between fire show and everything else, that's because I'm still waiting on the footage. But I will at least have something up within the next couple of weeks. That I can promise. But bottom line, guys, and also I want to send a thanks out to Slick Rick and Solar Star for actually taking the time to come down. You guys actually helped make my press pass more valid, because
Yes, you did.
Yeah, because I can now say that I've been able to encourage my fans to come down to Metrocon because of what I do, and that means that my press patch has value to it. They can keep making me as press because I have promoted the con and have encouraged my fans to come. So, by all means, if you guys can keep coming, please do, because you help make my job worth it. You know. So, thank you guys for
actually, you're not the only one that was able to talk a few people into coming. Guess who arrived on Saturday?
Who?
I didn't get to see them myself, but they were in the dealer's room. Michelle and Rudy.
Yeah, I didn't see them at all.
Yeah, they were in the dealer's room for a good chunk of Saturday. I'll probably be talking con with Michelle when I go back to work Friday.
Nice.
Yeah, my coworkers hate me, by the way. My coworkers are absolutely hate me because I've been off since last Monday, and I don't go back to work till this Friday. The best part is I only had scheduled 5 days off.
But is there anything else we wanted to cover before we wrap it up? Like, I think we covered all our bases.
I did have something interesting happen during the weekend. For those of you that don't know, next year's theme is Faithful versus Fallen.
Faithful versus the Fallen.
And in fact, I was the first of us to know, and don't say a word, Slick Rick. I'm gonna fucking kill you, I swear to God. Because technically he was the first to know. But out of the four of us, and by four of us I mean me, John, Ty, and Danny, I was the first to know, and I was sworn to secrecy.
But Rick found out, wasn't sworn to secrecy, and slipped it to me.
I'm gonna kill him.
Ow!
That was for you, Rick. Anywho. But, I actually might have, done something interesting for Alex and the rest of the guys at Con. Because I made quite a few suggestions for chess match. No, I can't blame you, but you should have covered it with me first. Anywho, but actually it's kind of interesting because Metrocon is a PG-13 con. I'm just gonna get this out right now. If you're gonna cosplay, keep your cosplay PG-13. I cannot stress this enough. Because there was actually one con goer oh god. It was after Amelie and I finished up our interview Saturday. Now, I'm doing the ladylike thing. I'm walking her back towards her booth, seeing as how she doesn't have an escort. So, she tells me that she's not heading back inside just yet. She's going to go out onto the patio and smoke. I join her. Well, As we're heading out onto the covered patio, we see a Satsuki in a Junketsu armor. Yeah. Just think of that for a second. It's Junketsu. It's almost more revealing than Senketsu.
Also, Calamario, unfortunately, we already just talked about the chess match. So, but once we get the video set to that, we will definitely post that. Just keep your eyes on the Metrocon Facebook page. Anyway, continue.
But, again, you might have. But, no, it's just this one.
Do you want me to explain this one?
Yes.
Now,
Because it actually pisses me off.
yeah, she was in tears apparently because she was kicked out of the con.
For good reason.
But for good reason, because what they found out apparently was that her lower protection wasn't covering enough.
Yeah, it was just a cup. She didn't even have on underwear to make it a thong. It was a cup, and Ami swears she saw a full-on badge from the side.
Yeah, that's a no.
If it's a TVMA show, don't try to bring that cosplay here.
If you're going to wear something like that,
If you're going to wear Senketsu or Junketsu, make it the uniform, not the armor.
Or, at the very least, make sure that you have a flesh-covered bra or thong to cover...
Or make it a full body suit and just put the armor on top.
Yeah, do something to cover up the private bits. You don't need that. You don't need that. Nobody wants to see that.
It's a family-friendly con. There are very impressionable kids at these cons. Mine included.
Yeah. As Nekwe Mimi points out, there have been plenty of people who have been able to have armor suits like that and cover themselves up. It's not hard to do. We're not asking you to change the armor. If you have to wear that armor, have a flesh-colored something on to cover up that area. Then you're fine. Trust me, Metrocon staff is very lenient about that.
For the most part.
As long as you're...
But, on the same note, keep it respectful.
Yes.
That is all we can ask.
They're as much a fan of this stuff as we are. They're not asking you to ruin your armor or ruin your cosplay for the sake of their thing. Just make sure you're covered. If you're covered, even if it's just a flesh-colored thing, you're covered, you're good. They will usually leave you alone. But if you're revealing that, guess what? They aren't gonna hike that. So it's just something that, you know, and if you bitch about it, guess what? It's your own goddamn fault. Shade speaks truth.
I try to keep my cosplays to the rating of the con that I'm attending. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
But she had the bandages on. She was still covering.
Yeah. Hell, there was quite a few years where I saw someone dressed as Lucy from Elfen Lied. And I'm talking about first episode, first episode Lucy, but she had the bandages wrapped around all the necessary areas. Risque? Sure, but perfectly fine because it covered everything that needed to be covered. It's not hard to do, guys. All right? It's not hard to do. Hell, one of their biggest things was a few years ago when a few years back when Naruto was the big thing. There was a lot of people dressing around in sexy no jutsus.
Okay. Now, as for the Titans, there is no gender-defining genitalia on those.
Yes.
The Titans, they can get away with.
Because as long as they're not actually exposing their actual bits, they're fine.
No, and they are actually full body suits that they're wearing most of the time.
Yeah. Again, a little disgusting when you're wearing them. When you're wearing something that's supposed to look like muscles. Here, sure, a little disgusting. Perfectly safe, perfectly legal.
They're pretty much, again, if your con has a rating, keep your cosplay to that con's rating. That's all I gotta say.
Their rules are on their website, and they're in here. Read them, follow them, love them.
Know them.
I just... Come on, people. It's not that hard. It really isn't. Okay. I think that's about everything.
I think we're done.
But yes, for those of you who are looking forward
I'm getting sleepy again already.
I'm not surprised. We're exhausted. I mean, you can look at my eyes. Seriously. You can see it in my eyes. I look terrible. That's why my hair...
I'm sitting back as far as I am.
But definitely look forward to all of our videos. We will have those posted up before long. I'll have all of our interviews.
Even your hair's tired.
No kidding. But yeah, all of our interviews are coming soon. We've got interviews. We've got at least, what, 7 interviews lined up this year? I think.
6.
No, 7 because you got Anomaly.
Oh, that's right.
7 interviews.
You had 4, I had 3.
Yeah, so 7 interviews coming up, plus 8 events. We got a lot of work to do. Lex, send that to Mildred. Let him know about that.
Because technically Mildred's in charge of TRPG.
Yeah, I mean, I'll message him about it, but better not. Don't talk to me about it here. Send it to Mildred. I'm pretty sure.
Especially considering that we're coming down off con.
We're going to be too tired to remember for later. So message him on Discord or Twitter. Let him know your suggestion, and he'll probably take that into mind. Anyway, but thank you guys so much for joining us on this. You guys just, we wanted to get our voices out about this one. Thank you guys. Let's talk about what's happening the rest of this week here on RVTV here in just a minute.
We're taking a break.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Well, we're taking a break for stream. I'm still doing streams this week. But we're not doing anything tomorrow night, thank God, because tomorrow night, Rift Down with TWK and the crew. Checking out the latest WWE SmackDown and providing their randomness like they always do. So make sure you guys check that out. Yes, folks, Rift Down has officially moved to Tuesdays because now SmackDown has as well. Thank you, WWE, for fucking up our schedule. Then on Wednesday, it's Ryder, the Transformation. Yes, we'll be back again to that with more exciting action. Join myself, Matty J, Mike Shell, and Mildred the Monk for more of that. And, of course, more TRPGs to come in the future as Lex has been trying to go from there. Then on Thursday, I believe we are going to be doing Ranger Recap. Anyway.
Sorry, guys.
Anyway, Ranger Recap this Thursday. More classic Ranger recaps as we get closer and closer to the return of Dino Charge. So join myself, Easy Rider, and Meta J for that on Thursday. That should be fun as well. Then on Friday, it's RVT Game Night. I believe it's Wii U Game Night this week.
Actually, there's something we forgot to mention that the fans will get a kick out of.
We'll do that in the end. Let me just finish this. Anyway, RVT Game Night. Join us for that. Join them for that. TWK, Meta J maybe as well. I believe it's Smash Brothers Night this week, so make sure you guys check that out. Should be fun. As always, then on Saturday, it's SNN Gaming. Join Tony Helms and the crew for more Borderlands Online. It's going to be wild. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be nuts. So make sure you guys tune in for that this Saturday. Then on Sunday, Toku Riffs Live is back on the air. Join myself, Easy Rider, Spade Ace, and Matty J. And we got a movie night this week, folks. Dual movie night, because we've got Ninja Returns. Good God help us all. And Kamen Rider Tyson Genesis. So make sure you guys check that out this Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern right here on our Ustream channel. And then finally on Monday, it's the Rising Sun Podcast, the official anime podcast of RVT. It's Fans' Choice this week, so make sure you guys check that out. We'll find out what the randomizer has for us this time. If you have your suggestions, shoot them to me, gcon85@gmail.com. Should be fun as well. And with that, that's going to do it. So what would you want to bring up on?
Yeah, just something funny for you guys really quick. My feet hurt. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, I don't do Metrocon unless I got a pair of boots on, right? That's just my style for the con. Well, ordered a new pair of boots. They arrived a few days late. I'm talking like the day before we're going to leave, kind of late. So, guess who had to break in a new pair of boots at con? If I ever try to do that again, you guys have permission to kill me.
Anywho, that's gonna do it for us here tonight on the Shade Speaks. I want to thank you guys for tuning in as always. You guys are awesome. Make sure you point your I-beams down and blast that like button. Let us know what you think. And if you haven't already, please subscribe because this is probably going to be where we're posting all of our Metrocon videos. So make sure you guys do that. Until then, on behalf of my lovely wife, Lady K, I'm the Shades, and
I'm Lady K, and we'll catch you on the flip side.
we'll see you guys next time. Rock on!